not just using the government to get food stamps in some kind of way. Like, it really does seem that they actually need this very badly, and their reasons are also incredibly private. Like, they don't have to go around and announce their story to everybody around them. They just want to get their groceries and get out of there just like anybody else. And I also just love the karma that came into play right when the original poster left the store. Like, this Karen's card declines right after this original poster leaves, and that's right after her being like, oh my god, my money goes towards people like you. But then her card gets declined, so it's like, well, what's your money going towards? It's clearly not on your card, lady. So honestly, to the original poster, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that, but also I think you handled it incredibly well. And I also don't think there's anything wrong with the way he reacted. In my opinion, I think it's very important to stand up for yourself and defend your own name, especially against somebody who clearly just wants to put you down. Like, standing up for yourself in that way, in my opinion, does not make you a bad person, and it definitely doesn't make you rude. Because at the end of the day, this entitled Karen started all of this. And if she had just kept her mouth shut, then everybody could have walked away from this situation a little bit better. If you like Am I the Jerk, you're probably going to love Am I the Genius. Check it out, link down below in the description. Also, go to amithejerk.com/submit if you would like to submit your own stories. Am I the jerk for telling another dad that his kids are weird because they're homeschooled? Because right now he is really upset. At this point, I seriously don't know. Here's what happened. So we had this family move across the street who coincidentally has boys the same age as mine, 14, 10, and 6 years old. Unfortunately, the kids are homeschooled, so my kids wouldn't be able to find them into the social fold. I arranged a play date last weekend for the 14-year-olds to hang out, and my son was clearly uncomfortable with the other kid. The other kid said he wasn't allowed to play video games or eat anything that wasn't organic. Now, I'm a pretty involved dad, but even that was odd. Basically, this kid wanted to teach my son about his trumpet and talk about Legos. It was like watching my 14-year-old try to play with a 10-year-old. After a few hours, the other kid left, and my son quickly went to his friend's house. I saw this kid's dad, and he asked me if everything was good between the boys. I said I assume so, and he said his son asked if he wanted to hang out on Super Bowl Sunday, and my son said no, as he was having friends over. He asked if he could come over, and my son said no. I asked my son, and he said the other kid was weird and made him feel uncomfortable. And I thought to myself, okay, fair enough. So I asked if his kids have friends outside of the family. He asked why, and I said that they're not social. I'm not trying to be mean, but they don't know how to interact with other kids. He said, but I said, dude, you comb your 14-year-old son's hair. Like, I can't force my kid to be friends with your kid because he's so unlike other boys his age. He then said, are you saying my son is weird because he's homeschooled? And I said, yeah, I'm not a perfect dad and neither are my kids. I'm just saying that your kid is oblivious on what other kids his age like. He can hang out with my 10-year-old if he likes. He then said that I was a terrible neighbor and I just said whatever. So honestly, am I the jerk in this situation? What should I do? Yeah, you are definitely the jerk in this situation. Just because somebody's homeschooled doesn't mean that they're going to be automatically awkward. And for you to blame this kid's awkwardness on him being homeschooled is really weird. Like, I have plenty of friends who have been homeschooled and they are just as normal as anybody else. And I've also had friends who were like going to public schools themselves, and they were some of the biggest weirdos on planet Earth. Like, how you received an education is not a reflection of your personality. Like, maybe this is a case where the homeschool kid is just awkward, and that's really all there is to it. The fact that he plays his trumpet and plays with Legos is not that big of a deal as a 14-year-old. So yes, to the original poster, I absolutely think you're a jerk. The way you handled this
Help! Okay, sorry, da war ich gemein. Oh. Was ist das? Bullshit. I say. I call Bullshit. Woher weiß der, wo ich immer bin? What the fuck are you tunneling? Ich mache meine Arbeit, ich bin ein Generator. Ich kann dich sehen. Der kommt wieder, ne? Kommt der wieder? Komm on, hit me. Yes. I thought as much. I'm taking this out. Wait a minute. Huch. Ah. No. No. Okay, I'm going. Okay. Dumbass. Okay, nice.
We had our first child around 2 years ago, and our
Trash.
my family
Look at
is
that.
pretty open
Look at that.
but my husband's family are very old-fashioned. And since we are Japanese, there is a consensus from men and women who are married to children should not be working. My husband is very lucky.
It's gonna. Shit. Pick up, yes.
So I've been getting hints from them that I should be a stay-at-home mom
You.
The male members of my team are also able to take maternity leave, so I don't see why I would have to leave my job.
God damn it.
Less as I don't have to. Even then, we still have a lot more than if I were a stay-at-home mom. But my mother-in-law has commented how it's not right that I outsource these things.
Hot source.
Love by treating my kids and her husband. My mother-in-law recently came over, and while eating dinner, she said the food was great and complimented me. And I said that my husband made the food. And when I said that, she was shocked. She said it wasn't right that my husband had to do any work after his long shift. I was working longer than him today, and she said, well, then you should just
Arrange your speed.
I save over $12,000 a month after paying to outsource, so I didn't have any interest in doing it anyways. And with that money, we can send our children to top schools and have graduate school paid for. So it's ridiculous to expect me to quit just because she has an old-fashioned idea that women need to be on their knees scrubbing away. My mother-in-law was offended, but my husband told her it's already been settled and I'm going to still be working. But everybody always tells me that I'm a bad mom if I don't quit my job, and it all has me really worn down at this point. So honestly, am I the jerk in this situation? What should I do? No, you're not the jerk. Your mother-in-law's just a busybody. She thinks that just because she quit her job to be a stay-at-home mom somehow means that you automatically have to do that yourself. And if I was in your shoes, I would you have a very successful job, you earn a lot of money.
Aus Hoffnung kriege ich nie viel raus. Aus Hope, Alter. Kann ich die ändern?
Why would you quit? Just so you can stay at home and not work a high-paying job? It's not like you're not taking care of your family. You clearly have it worked out.
Kann ich aber sowas machen?
And honestly, that's like the only person who has a say in anything that happens in that house. So no, of course you're not a jerk. Your mother-in-law's being really weird, and if I was in your shoes, I would just try to ignore her. My entitled mother-in-law steals my entire collection of vintage keys, selling it at a pawn shop just so she can buy herself a new phone. Things got so bad, the police got involved, and my mother-in-law eventually got arrested. And now, as a result, my wife is walking out of our house, claiming that I had no right to have her mother arrested. And I'm honestly at the point where I'm considering a divorce, leaving me completely unsure of what to do next. Here's what happened. Okay, so my mother-in-law is insanely entitled, and my wife's enabling of her has made our marriage very hard at times. My mother-in-law has come to us for money a lot because she keeps spending herself into a hole since she is a hoarder and a shopaholic. Her house is full of garbage, junk, and unopened stuff that she never uses. The house is rodent infested too, and she has one separate room in the whole building, with that room being the master bedroom. She's mocked it up like a little studio apartment with a futon to sleep on and use as a couch, an entertainment center with a TV and streaming, and a makeshift kitchen consisting of the adjoining bathroom, a mini fridge, and a microwave. My mother-in-law is also overweight because she eats out a lot. So anyways, recently my mother-in-law came to us, wanting me specifically to buy her a new smartphone.
Aber ich habe dieses Mal ein Ergebnis bekommen. Durch Dramaturgy bekommt man auch Rauchgranaten. Vorher habe ich immer nur mit Kids, Toolbox und einmal eine Taschenlampe und einmal eine Schüssel. Habe ich schon eine Fähigkeit bekommen. Wenn nicht, jetzt weiß ich, dass das auch mit Rauchbomben funktioniert. And I mean, these are really good ones, like ones that go to very specific hotels. Hurry up.
The large ornate sergeants, brass railroad keys, reading hardware, etc. My collection as a whole should easily be worth $2,000 to $3,000. Some of those keys are super rare, and I keep them in a locked display cabinet. A few days ago, I was home to find my entire collection was gone. The cabinet had been forced open, and when I checked our CCTV for the living room, I saw my mother-in-law force open the cabinet with a small crowbar. And when I saw that, I seriously thought I was gonna lose my mind. After she forced open the cabinet, she then put all the keys in a couple of boxes that she brought with her, and then left right away with them. I told my mother-in-law, well, she nonchalantly told me that she sold the entire collection at a pawn shop already, and she used the money for her new phone. Then she said it was her fault. She just had to do it because I wouldn't give her the money. My wife was seemingly on my side, all the way up until I said I was going to call the police. She begged me to just drop it, and even suggested that I just start a new collection. But I refused to let it go, because a lot of those keys are not only expensive, they're also irreplaceable. I spent 10 years building that collection, but my wife kept blowing up on me and telling me to just let it go. So I slept in the guest bedroom that night and sought online help the next day when my best friend told me to try the internet. I had been working on
Kommt von dem Körpertrend für ihre Geisterform ist ekelhaft.
It's certainly not fun for me.
Das ist so ekelhaft. Disgusting. I'm leaving. Disgusting. Bleib weg. Laura fucking Croft, bleib weg. Mein Herzschlag wird schlimmer. Schwinde. Schwinde. Ja. Da ist sie. No. No. Danke für deine Hilfe, hier. Nicht? Keine Karte für dich? Oh. disgusting. Holt mich hier bitte runter vom Haken. Sofort! Bitte! Ja.
I owe you one. No. Correction, I owe you more. Let's get out of here. You helped me. Thanks.
Okay. Open, open, open. Ekelhafter Killer. Boah. Den können sie ruhig wieder komplett sperren. Es triggert einfach den ekelhaften Reflex. Das ist genauso wie wenn der Lehrer an der Tafel mit so einer zu trockenen Kreide und es ist quietschen macht.
Okay, someone call my agent. I didn't sign up for this.
In my own marriage. Wow, what a crazy turn of events. First of all, the mother is crazy for breaking into your stuff to steal your collection. Like, that is insane to me, and if anything, you're probably patting yourself on the back. You had cameras set up. I mean, just imagine if you didn't have cameras, and this mother-in-law steals your stuff, and you have no proof. You literally have no evidence. Like, that would be a nightmare to deal with, because you literally would have lost your stuff with no evidence. I can't imagine going through what you're going through, as well as the way your wife is also treating you. Like, the way her mom is acting is not defendable. The fact that she's trying to be like, wow, you put her in jail, how did you do that? All while she's just ignoring the fact that she robbed you guys blind. Like, I'm sure she'd be singing a much different tune if this mother-in-law stole something from her instead of you. Like, this whole scenario is messed up, and I'm so sorry it's gotten to this point, but it sounds like you have a solid game plan. And for the sake of your happiness and your future, I hope it all works out in the end. If you like Am I the Jerk, you're probably going to love Am I the Genius. Check it out, link down below in the description. Also, go to amithejerk.com.
What's this? What's this?
If
What's
you
this?
would like to submit your own stories. My wife has been cheating on me since she was pregnant, and I only found out because I went through her phone while she was in surgery. And now I'm at such a loss, and I seriously don't know what to do. Here's what happened. Okay, so as the title says, I found out my wife started cheating while she was pregnant. She stopped cheating on me after we had the baby and started cheating again after the baby was 14 months old. She was turned off by me because she had to work while she was pregnant with our son. My wife is not very work motivated. She just hates working and always wanted to.
Wow, nur weil sie keinen Bock hat zu arbeiten, geht sie fremd und sucht sich einen anderen Daddy. Wow.
Suspicious of my wife because she is really
Ekelhaft.
secretive on her phone. I went through her phone 4 days ago while she was under surgery. I had a good 3 hours to go through everything, and she tried deleting a lot of things, and I found out that she's been cheating on me with several different men. She vented to her friends a lot about her feelings, like how she's married to a woman because I can't provide her with everything she wants, and she started to resent me when she told me she wanted to quit her job when she was pregnant and wanted to be a housewife while she was pregnant. She told her friends that she cheated on me. She vented to them about the affairs, and she told them that I'm not a real man because I make her work, and she's turned off how I'm not traditional in the financial sense, and how she looks at me like a feminine boy. Her friends were supportive and listened to her because they were friends since middle school and high school. Now, I know everyone's going to ask how she did find the time to cheat, but as a quick background, we are Asian, and that means we get a lot of family support. Our families are always active and there for us no matter how old we are. We don't use daycare services since our parents are the daycare. Our parents take care of our son. We have a lot of free time with all the family help that we get, but the downside is because of our cultural background. This is the reason why we can't get a divorce. It is highly frowned upon in the community, and literally nobody in the family has ever had a divorce, and it would be embarrassing for my entire family if I started. I confronted my wife about this the next day because she was in surgery the first day. She wouldn't be able to hold a conversation. It was hard not talking about it right away, but I knew it wasn't gonna do any better. Anyway, she said I was wrong for going through her phone, and me going through her phone is worse than what she did. I should have been providing for her because she wanted a housewife lifestyle. She said going through someone's phone is a major invasion of privacy, and nobody has the right to ever go through someone else's phone, especially without some kind of permission. And then she got even more hostile and started questioning me if I messaged anybody on her phone pretending to be her, and then deleted the evidence about it. This is all just so devastating, and at this point, I seriously don't know what to do. That is seriously awful, and I cannot believe she's acting that way. Is she really trying to act like her cheating on you is just as bad as you going through her phone? Like, that is
I
crazy
hate
to me.
this
There's no way
vlog.
that's even comparable. She was unfaithful in her marriage. You going through her phone is not even close to being insane. It's also really convenient what she said at the end, where she's like, oh, wait, you message somebody pretending to be me. Because I guarantee you, if you do go through with getting a divorce in some kind of way, or if you even try to expose her to everybody else around you, she's going to use that excuse. She's going to lie and try and turn it on its head towards you. And that is all completely insane.
Oh fuck, man. Come on. Hey, man.
Because right now, my dad and his wife are very upset. And at this point, I seriously don't know what to do. Here's what happened. Okay, so as the title suggests, the wedding happened years ago, but my family was so good. My grandma was the only person who knew she was my dad's mom, and was the person who stayed with me.
Ein Deadshot, gegen den habe ich lange nicht gespielt, dass ich auf ihn ausweichen kann. Ja, ich komme ja schon. Come on. Don't be a bitch, Mac. Toten wegmachen, falls irgendein weil der irgendeinen Fluch hat in den letzten Runden.
Overwhelming you. I don't think they should be holding such a weird precedent set against you. They've done nothing to make that relationship any better. It is so strange to me that they would be holding that against each other. Like there's no
David, no. Was denn schon? Perfekt. Nein. Sagt Tschüss zu irgendeiner Fluchfähigkeit, wenn ich alle deine Totems wegmache.
smiling and laughing with me, all while this garbage was sitting in the back of her mind. Now,
Moment, ich muss mal kurz das einstellen, mein Ping ist mir ganz schlecht. Ich muss mal kurz meinen Browser alles limitieren. Alter. Besser. Jetzt müsste mein Ping besser werden. Was ist das für ein schlimmer Gummiband?
my husband for almost a year and in the process of a divorce. But my best friend and I are still close. And everything has not changed. She met a guy 9 years ago and we've been together ever since. And we've been together all the time. We've been on family trips, hosted holidays at each other's houses. We've had birthdays.
Not liking the vibe here. Not one bit.
Inseparable. My best friends and I have had our ups and downs because in the beginning I hated the way he treated her. He would be disrespectful and say backhanded remarks. He would be rude to the
So,
family
wenn ich
and more.
Quinten trenne oder sie leveln, dann müsste ich doch eigentlich auch noch richten können. Hier.
Because she was going to kept my mouth shut. Our first child 2 years ago after being married 10 years. A couple years later, my best friend and her boyfriend.
Ich levele nur bis Prestige und danach höre ich auf mit dem hier zu spielen. Aus einem anderen Grund, weil ich hätte gern diese Fähigkeit.
Well, fast forward to the beginning of October of this year, and I've been making steps to slowly show that I'm no longer with my husband, and I even changed my name on social media back to my maiden name. All of my family and my husband's family supports me, but I'm still heartbroken and just very depressed at the situation that I'm in, especially with just getting divorced in the first place. My best friend has always been there for me, and I go over just to vent and just to be around her because she truly does get my mind off of everything. Her boyfriend is usually there too, and he will chime in with his thoughts about everything and just apologizes about what I'm going through. Since I've made an effort to become better friends, I've been talking to him more and just checking on the baby. My best friend said it's nice that I started a clean slate with him, and she feels relieved that she can just relax around us. So I told her that I never meant to make her feel that way, and I just wanted her to be happy. October came and went, and everything was going great, and I started to be around my best friend more to help her with the baby and not have any sort of issues with her boyfriend. And it's been really comfortable and really nice. But at the beginning of November, I noticed that my best friend and her boyfriend haven't really been texting me much as of late. So I gave her a call and I asked her if everything was okay, assuming it was just being in the new baby trenches. But you know what? I was completely wrong. She told me that her boyfriend told her that he no longer wanted to be with her and that he has fallen out of love with her. And on top of that, he's been feeling unhappy for a long time now. They had a huge fight and almost ended things, but they both agreed to try and reconcile for the baby. I was shocked and immediately just wanted to help her out. In fact, I've been checking in on her every day, making sure she's okay, and I even stopped any communication with her boyfriend. He would message me and I wouldn't reply because of what he was putting her through, so I just decided to stay quiet. Well, fast forward to yesterday and I posted a selfie on social media, and he actually messaged me saying that I was beautiful, and I was like, what is happening right now? You're with my best friend, is this a joke? He then replied by saying that they're going through some hard times, and that while he has love for her, he's no longer in love with her, as well as the fact that things happen behind closed doors. Just all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, what is going on right now? I then told him that he needs to stay with her and work it out. They just had a baby together. He then tells me that he has something for me, and proceeds to send me a letter he wrote for me, saying that he has feelings for me and always has, that he's been with the wrong person for years. Just multiple pages of his feelings towards me, and my first reaction was shock and rage. Like, why in the world are you doing this? Especially to my best friend. And then I became heartbroken and disappointed for my best friend. How dare he have the audacity to do this, and especially knowing my situation, why would he ever think this would be okay? So I said that he was confused on his feelings, and I would absolutely never do this to my best friend, because I love her so much, and that he's selfish and inconsiderate to do this to her. But he said he's never been more crystal clear in his life on what he wants, and he doesn't regret telling me how he feels. I then asked him if she knows about the letter or that he's had feelings for me, and he said no. I then said to him, well, I see her tomorrow, which is now today, so you... So at this point, I really need some help. I have to tell her. Like, my stomach has been in knots all day, and my heart feels very heavy. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to approach this. For days or weeks, I want to tell her, but I don't know if I should just show her the letter. If my husband wrote this about another woman, it would destroy me. And her boyfriend's not going to tell her because in the letter, he said it was just meant for me. If I tell her what's going on, I'm afraid our dynamic will change. But I didn't do anything, and I would never be with him. Like, I cannot express to you how much that would never happen. Even though I didn't do anything, but literally exist, I feel extremely guilty that I have to be the bearer of bad news. I want to support her, and I know she knows I'm always on her side and never against her, but I'm afraid she's going to shoot a message. I don't know. I mean, I see her in a few hours. What should I do? Okay, bro, there is no way in the world I would ever keep quiet about this. Like,
Bro.
for me, the choice is pretty obvious, but I feel
Ja, haha, kickflips, bro.
chance that she's gonna turn this against
Oh,
you,
fuck
and
no.
you're probably gonna lose your friendship. Like, I don't know, maybe that won't happen, and hopefully it doesn't, but just in my opinion, I definitely see this happening in some kind of way, and that's gonna be really messy. So personally, if I was
Es ist Chucky. Ich sehe es an den Fußabdrücken. Es ist Chucky.
look, I do not feel this way about this guy, but he feels this way about me.
Hier war doch irgendwo ein Totem.
You know now instead of later.
Come here, you dumb.
Komm schon, schnell. Komm daneben.
Refusing to continue babysitting my best friend's kids, basically feeding them every week. She started to really take advantage of me, and even drop her kids off at my house first, because now we are really on good terms, and I just don't
What the fuck?
Okay, so I've been best friends with this friend ever since high school. She has 2 kids, ages 5 and 3, and I love them. And before all of this blew up, I genuinely enjoyed spending time with them. But over the past year, my best friend, who I would call Lily for the sake of the store, full childcare. At first, she would say stuff like, "Oh, can you watch them for an hour while I went to the store?" Then it became, "Hey, can you just stay with me?"
Alter, was ist das?
I'm exhausted. And even recently, it's become a situation where she's saying, "Just drop them off before work. You're home for the night." But for context, I work from home.
Stop, please. Jesus Christ, was ist damit?
Asking me first while I was in the middle of a meeting. Just
Ping,
and said that she thought that friends helped each other out and that she doesn't have anyone else. And then she accused me of acting brand new because I've helped before. A few days later, she sent a long text message saying that she feels abandoned, that I don't understand how hard motherhood is, and that it must be nice having a child-free life while my best friend is struggling. Now she's barely speaking unless it's passive-aggressive. Because I do care about her kids, and I know she's overwhelmed. I also feel like she's got so many boundaries that I basically have a free nanny and a meal plan respect. So am I the jerk for refusing to keep babysitting and feeding my best friend's kids? Because at this point I'm exhausted and I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick point. No, you're definitely not a jerk. This lady is
Yeah, no.
from home with an emphasis on work. To make myself happy. I'm not just sitting here playing video games and sitting on the couch doing nothing. Like, if she really doesn't see that she's being selfish here and being really intrusive, then just have her reflect
Nicht mit
on
dem
the fact
Ping.
that she
Nope.
dropped her kids off without asking first and ran off into the sunset to do whatever
No,
she was
no, no,
doing.
no,
And
no,
yeah,
no,
you guys
no.
are friends, but guess what?
No.
She's taking advantage of you. And the second that happens, in my opinion, she is no longer a friend. Like, whatever's left of a friendship will come to a screeching halt, in my opinion. Because what's happening right now? This is
Nicht
so
mit
stupid.
diesem
So
Ping.
no, you're
Nö.
not the jerk for refusing to babysit. If I was in your shoes, I would do the same thing. Because truly, I really think she's being very
No,
immature
no,
and
no,
trying
no.
to guilt trip you into something that you never signed up for in the first place. Am I the jerk for not picking my girlfriend up from the airport after she explicitly told me she would catch an Uber to my place? Because right now she's saying that I should have asked more and tried harder to take care of her. And at this point, I'm really annoyed and I seriously just don't know what to do. Here's what's happening. Okay, to set the scene, it's the night before my birthday. She was supposed to come yesterday, the day before, at like 11:30 in the evening.
Ich kann mal
However,
gucken,
her
vielleicht wenn ich hier
flight was
nochmal
canceled,
beim...
and then she was rebooked to the same flight the day before my birthday. The original plan was to pick her up from the airport and take her back to my
Netzwerksbegrenzung.
apartment. I've done
Vielleicht
this
hilft das.
every single time.
Mal gucken,
Previously,
ist dadurch die
when the flight
Qualität
was
vom
delayed
Stream
or
eingeschränkt.
canceled. Except this time she's landing at around 11 o'clock
Nee,
p.m.
nicht
and likely
gut.
won't get her bags until like
Oh,
11:45. And it takes about 45 minutes roughly to get back to the airport. Because of this, my girlfriend said last night, and I quote directly, "I'll just Uber over to you, baby. I feel terrible making you pick me up literally at midnight. If I had zero plans, I would still drive to the airport at midnight. However, my family is in town. My apartment is an hour away from family, and this morning I drove to my apartment to pick up her stuff, as we are going to be staying at my parents' place for part of my birthday. The idea is that we would celebrate at midnight with all
Wenn
of
ich
us
das
together.
spiele, dann will ich wahrscheinlich wieder Lied spielen und da haben die Leute keine Lust drauf. Die gehen einfach auf.
Thing with my friends later on. I have a surprise planned for my girlfriend and I on my birthday later on that includes a small getaway. We were originally going to bake a cake together because my girlfriend is vegan, but my family and I asked around our entire city to find an eggless cake and we were successful. Well, she's now
So, die verheimlichen es dann nicht mal. Die bleiben einfach stehen. Ich muss die dann K.O. hauen und dann macht keinen Bock. Oder die verlassen die Runde, so wie ich gerade, und dann spiele ich gegen Bot. Nee.
say something, but I'm now angry and I feel gaslighted that I'm being made to feel guilty enough and not picking her up after being explicitly told
Ich soll nach Regeln spielen, weil sonst machen die anderen nicht mit und das ist dumm.
And for finding an eggless cake for her, all of which I did just to make her more comfortable. Had the tables before their birthday, and instead I would come to wherever they are so that they are comfortable on their birthday. I've even offered to pay for the Uber itself. What should I do?
Let's go.
Okay, dude, so immature, it's not even funny. Seriously, if she said, hey, don't worry about it, I'll get an Uber over to you, then guess what? That's the end of the discussion. Like, why should I not believe you when you say that? Like, that is so dumb. And my God, I gotta be honest, I can't stand people that act like this. They say one thing, they're like, oh, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. And then they get pissed off and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was supposed to beg to like do this for you. You want me to drop down to my knees and be like, no, I'll pick you up, I'll do whatever it takes. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just poor communication and just emotionally immature. So yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. I think your girlfriend's being a little stupid in my opinion. Because if she wanted you to pick her up, then she should have said, actually, could you just come and pick me up? Sorry to do this last second. Then I'm sure there's some way it can all work out, but instead she just
Legion, let's go. Favorite. Ja, komm. Oh.
Seeing that our van was going to be taken away, we resolved to leave a parting gift. Before turning over the van, we drove to the nursery and bought a canister of fish fertilizer oil. Generous samples were then deposited.
Generator. Sorry, Bill.
The van to the manager without any fanfare. Well, over the ensuing days, I overheard him commenting about a persisting bad odor that wouldn't go away. But we just decided to get into my coworker's Mercedes and drove off for lunch, trying not to laugh the entire way because this manager absolutely all of this. Oh man, I love this so much, especially when like the manager is misusing property and trying to be like, oh yeah, I will serve this. Dude, I'm sorry you don't have a vehicle, but like this is a work vehicle and I need to use it for set work with the place. Not because you need a right to work. Like, sorry, that's just not how this works. Several years and married for one. And when I moved in,
Generator,
it was a
cool.
long-standing family setup. He has lived on this property for 14 years. His grandmother lives in the larger, lower level.
Verschwinde. Was zum Teufel geht da ab? Naja, kommt nicht rüber. Jean! Gino! Yes, geschafft! Außerhalb der Hakenphase. Dutch. Oh no. Ja, komm. Run. Jake, was machst du? Come on. What the fuck, Jake? Okay, what the fuck? Nice. Ich bleibe genau hier, bis alle Effekte weg sind. Perfekt. Und Effekt ist weg. Why? Keine Ratte muss fertig werden. Please. Er sieht mich, ne? Wegen Sprintfähigkeit. Ah ne, der ist gar nicht drin in seiner Sprintfähigkeit. Let's go. Why? Didn't do anything. No, Bill! Oh. Oh. Ich bleib hier drin. Bis der Effekt weg ist. Das sind ein paar Sekunden. Moment. Oh. Ah, really? Really? Iron Maiden? Das ist eine Frau. Ich glaube nicht. Mein Ping ist so schlecht. Was soll das? Mein Ping? Nice. Danke. Oh, fuck. Pech. Was ist mit dem Ping?
She made, legitimately, in my opinion, completely justifies the way she talked to this family. They were not watching their kids, and it was a detriment to literally everybody in the restaurant. And honestly, if that family never was to come back, then in my opinion,
Wow, das wieder so lange gedauert zum Hochladen, Alter.
in the restaurant, and they were being incredibly disrespectful to
Aber da war
everybody.
mein Ping noch so.
So in my opinion, her coworker's the jerk at all, and I think she did the best thing for everybody in the restaurant. If you like Am I the Jerk, check it out, link down below in the description. Also, go to
Der Ping in diesem Game ist so Arsch. Man kann eine Super 1A Leitung haben und das Spiel sagt immer noch nö.
Here's what happened. So this happened to me last night, and of course I'm coming here to brag about it because this was just absolutely hilarious. And this moment with my table has probably made my entire year. I work at a casual fine dining steakhouse, and the prices are a little bit high. And this is a situation where even two people could eat at a restaurant together, and the bill could be at least $100. Anyways, President's Weekend is always chaotic and extremely busy. I had a six-top of these diva 18-year-olds come in, and from the start they were very rude and talking down to me because I'm a server. Now, I'm very non-confrontational. I just ignored it and kept pushing through. Things were going fine until towards the end when it was time to get their checks. Now, all of a sudden, there were just a list of complaints. They said to me, there's hair everywhere. It's on my steak, it's on my napkins, it's on the table. This is so gross. I'm not paying for this. Then she picks up the hair from her steak, and it's a brown hair. None of us at my restaurant have brown hair. I have red hair, and most of us have black hair, with a few of us being blonde. But it does look like her hair, though. But I really didn't care. I wasn't going to battle it as it wasn't my job, so I just told management. So management goes up to the table and she gives it a filet. Our filet is cheaper than our beef strip, and this will be important later on. Management doesn't feel like fighting her on it, so they come off the filet. This lady is angry and starts arguing with me again. She says to me, it wasn't the filet you took, it was the New York strip. I want the New York strip taken off. I tell her that my manager said it was the filet you gave him. So it was the filet he was going to take off the check. Now she's even more angry and says that my management doesn't know their cuts of meat, which is blatantly not true, as they definitely know what they're talking about, as do I. But nonetheless, I go back to my manager. At this point, he is completely done. He decides he's just going to leave the filet comped off, but he will discount the New York just to get them out of here. Because at this point, I'm done and he's done with them. What he did was cheaper than just getting rid of the New York cut and adding the filet back, which was like over $20 cheaper. So I bring the new check and she's still upset because she doesn't want to pay for the New York strip at all.
Oh my god.
My other table has watched this from the beginning, and they too have had enough. They literally yell at my table, saying that that is absolutely ridiculous. The table couldn't say a word to them, and my table of good Samaritans pulled me aside. They were telling me that my table even looked at me wrong. They wanted to go in there and teach them a lesson, and they said this loudly on purpose because they wanted the divas to hear. I know my manager.
Warum nicht? Chaos schaffe Killer. Also ich kann mir wahrscheinlich einen Killer aussuchen. Und dann gibt's verschiedene. Ist alles. Alles. Ich jetzt sage hier, Legion. Alles klar, alles. Überraschung. Okay. Let's go play Chaos Shuffle.
few years now. He keeps bouncing between different friends' houses, but he hasn't been in ours the longest. He recently came back from Italy as he was staying with his mom, and I said yes to him staying, but said there had to be a deadline. My boyfriend agreed to this, and we told his friend he had 3 weeks to find a job as well as an alternative place to live. Now, it may sound like I'm being harsh, but he has stayed with us for months before, and did absolutely nothing to better his situation during said times. He spent all of his money on substances and was too high all day to apply for jobs or look at properties. My boyfriend even offered him a job at his workplace if he just filled out the application. My boyfriend feels bad telling him that he has to go, and also says it's helpful having him to watch the dog if we go out. However, this friend...
Oh, mal gucken, welche Fähigkeiten und Add-ons ich zufälligerweise jetzt gleich kriegen werde.
And mud all over the rugs because he didn't take his shoes off after being outside. He also leaves his clothing, his mugs, and plates everywhere. He does tidy up if I tell him to, but I'm honestly sick of having to tell him. The icing on the cake happened this week. He agreed to give us about $200 a month for the room, utilities, food, and clothing being washed, but he only gave us $100. And this was because he failed to turn up to his appointment with the job center, with his excuse being that it was raining and my boyfriend was using the car. So his money was completely stopped. However, he magically found about $180 just so he could buy a big bag of the herb.
Was ist mein Ping? Okay. Oh. Let's go. Okay, Fracture Strike, Blood Favor und Shotem. Sehr gute Fähigkeiten. Dankeschön. Oh, Frenzy und das blaue Buch. Cool. Danke, das Spiel hat mich heute lieb. Es gibt mir gute zufällige Perks und Extras, für die ich nichts bezahlen muss. Mist! Ich bin drauf reingefallen. Okay, okay. Ah, das ist no. Just no. Do not touch my totem. Bitch! Do not touch my totem. Bitch! No. Do not touch. No, no. Böse. Do not touch my stuff. What the fuck? Nah. Nice cheats, bitch. Nice the cheats, bitch. Ey, mein Ping ist okay. Das ist ein Cheat von der Schlampe da. Danke. Geht ihr ernsthaft wieder zurück? Was? Hört auch mit euren dummen Lag-Cheats, ey. Es nervt. Ich hab noch nie so erbärmliche Leute gesehen, die Lag-Cheats benutzen. Häng! Aufhängen. Lass mich nicht aufhängen. Alter, nervt das. Alter, nervt das. Nervt wie Sau. Ja, wird. Oh Mann. Ja, nee. Am Arsch. Ich hab einen 500er Ping irgendwas. Oh, für 0 Gründe. Für 0 Grund. 0. Ja, guck mal, ich kann nicht mal neben vom Generator gehen. Ich direkt wieder zurück teleportiert. Was für eine Scheiße. What the fuck? Alter, das ist Krampf so zu spielen. Wie hey, wer macht eure scheiß Server, Alter? No. No. Da. What the fuck? Ich habe sie getroffen, das habt ihr gesehen. Was soll das? Hä? Was soll das? Ich höre irgendwo Geräusche. Mein Ping ist so Arsch, ohne null Grund. Come on, yeah. Mach das Tor auf. Tausend MSI am Arsch. So kann man gar nicht spielen, selbst im Event nicht. Bruh. You know this.
Coming by and found it partially closed due to short staffing. She told me that I should but decided to do so since it was
Was kann ich tun?
staff. Within 2 weeks of sending in my application, I was gotten back to.
Was kann ich tun?
I ended up learning the pay and the benefits more than justified my commuting time, and I've been happily employed here ever since. But here's where the problem is coming. My partner's mom constantly talks about how she got
Ping ist konstant Arsch. Das ist einfach nur Arsch. Warum? Warum nicht? Das ist funny, so kann man nicht mitleisten. Sonst ist das übel. Shade maybe? Also, Minecraft. Ja, der könnte komische Fähigkeiten kriegen. Nee. Ich will bei dem Killer nicht jammern, den ich gut kann. Wäre cool, wenn ich die Extras behalten könnte, aber ich glaube, das so funktioniert halt nicht. Dann nehme ich einen. Dann nehme ich den hier. Let's try this again. Ping wird wahrscheinlich ja schrecklich sein. So.
Time in Guyana, I had a son with my ex-girlfriend. I moved back to New York when he was 2 years old, and his mom and I decided it's best for him to stay with her in Guyana. It's better for him to know his culture and stay grounded. I have been back there many times to see him, and he's come to stay here with me as well. In the end, he was always supposed to come here to live with me, and this is where my fiance came. We've been together for 2 years.
Was ist Pumping? Was ist Pumping?
And this year is the year where he will permanently be moving here. He's going to come in the summer and then start his first year of middle school. Well, I started to notice her doing which is right when I was looking for houses. Moving somewhere.
Let's go. Wenn ich Pech habe, sind es wie diese Wachmann-Tabletten und irgendein anderes dummes Add-on, was ich nicht kenne.
She would feel so odd with having him around pretty much early on in our marriage, and she feels like we should wait until he's older, or she wants him to not come at all and just come for vacations. From day one, I've said that my son is going to live with me, even going as far as giving her a time frame. I always said that I want him here right before he starts
Orangene Klinge und das... Was ist das? Was ist das? Ah, cool. Sehr cool. Merciless Storm und ein paar andere Kackfähigkeiten. Spirit Fairy, was soll's, was soll's. Was? Coming for that ass. Don't swing at that. Danke, Auto-Aim. Was machst du? Bist du dumm? No. Huh? Where'd you go? No. Ihre Fähigkeit ist mega nervig. Hilfe. Mega nervig. Okay, dann komm wieder zurück. Kein Problem, komm wieder zurück. Oh. No. Ja. I read. Danke. Jawohl. Coming for you. Oh, she gone. Das ist unendlicher. Ja, du meinst nichts. Dann tschüss. Ich beiß an, kein Problem. Ich beiße, kein Problem. Nehmen das mal. Ist die Frage, ob du das Echo vertragen kannst. Wer stichelt, kriegt die Hörner. No. What? Das war ein Griff. Man hat die Greifanimation gesehen. Super. Perfekt, den hat man gebissen. Okay. Regel Nummer 1. Verfolge niemals einen, der verfolgt werden will. Nö. 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 Ich ignoriere dich. Ich nehme einen anderen. Ignoriere jeden, der verfolgt werden will. Nee, 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 nee. Ist doch jemand. Ich sehe jemand, ganz leise. No, I do not care. Ah! No. Ich verfolge dich nicht. Alter, was willst du? Nein. Da. Hä? Ja, ich wusste es. Deswegen habe ich gewartet. Wenn ich die kille, ist ja noch so gut wie tot. Hä? Ah, hier. Ah, Glück gehabt. Ah, Glück gehabt. Schon wieder nicht getroffen. Irgendwas ist los. Guck mal an. Hat jemand verkackt. Du hast verkackt. Okay.
Substances around the neighborhood.
That's just nuts.
She stopped at all costs. Once she was
Let's try again. Haben wir es auch noch einen Bonus gehabt? Warum nicht?
To my grandmother's apartment. Directly in front of my entrance is another entrance. And above it on the window, at least 70% of the time when I went out, there was an elderly woman. She always looked at me somewhat grumpily as I passed by, and sometimes I would glance at her, but I had headphones, so I just ignored her. When I had the second shift, I usually got home at about 8:20, and then I went to my grandmother's house at around 10:30, even though sometimes...
Ready.
Now, that woman was almost always...
Oh, fuck no. Taschenlampe, 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 Taschenlampe. Wie? Oh mein Gott, das wird Hölle. Help me. I like this game.
You're leaving to get high.
I looked at her and I said, "What?" She said to me,
Every day you go out with a hoodie on your head in the dead of night, and I can clearly see what you're doing.
I then looked at her and I said, "What do you think I'm doing?" And she responded by saying that I'm dealing some kind of substance. She then demanded to know what I had in my backpack. But I said to her, well, not that it's any of your business, but I have a laptop and equipment. But this Karen was not having it. She looked at me and said,
I think it's illegal substances. Open it and let me see it right now.
but I refused to do it. I said to her, leave me alone, and I just walked away. Now, the next day, she was waiting for me outside the entrance. She said to me, what's in that bag? I looked at her and I said, you are a psycho.
Rote Fähigkeit, die die Palette kaputt macht und ein bisschen extra Reichweite beim Angriff. Cool. Oh, Lightborn. Cool.
The next day, 2 police officers were waiting for me outside the door with the Karen. The Karen then said, that's him. He's the local dealer. I looked at them and I said, what is going on? The first police officer said that they received a report that illegal substances officer said, "We'll search you, we won't let you go." I said to them, "That lady is crazy. But you know what? Do what you have to do. I just want to get this over with." The first police officer searched me while the Karen was yelling about me being a dealer. The second officer asked me how old I was and if I had a and I said,
Ich habe Lightborn. Die Taschenlampen funktionieren an mir nicht. Ja, verzweifelt. Dass eure einzigste Rettung nicht funktioniert. Funktioniert nicht. Ihr dummes Stück Scheiße. Funktioniert nicht. Nee, kein Bock auf Säbel. Säbel ist kacke. Ich gehe zurück zum Haken. Ich komme wieder und bin wieder da. Wen haben wir hier? Oh, ist das nicht wunderschön? Ah. Alien Girl. So. Und? Na. Kannst das zoomen, natürlich. Das kann sie nicht. Und. Tu es nicht. Es bringt nichts. Ich habe Lightborn. Oh. Bringt nichts. No. Und für dich habe ich ein besonderes Kätzchen. Oh, das stehen.
mean, honestly, I'm kind of at a loss right now. It doesn't seem anything I said got through to him at all, and I still don't know what in the world he wants. What should I do? It really seems like your husband just doesn't care about your career, or he's just not willing to compromise and move with you for your job, which, by the way, is incredibly unfair. I'm sure you've gone through a lot of compromises on your end just to make sure you get his training done and all this other stuff. And this is especially hurtful because you guys agreed to this in the first place. Like you said, hey, if I get a job offer and we gotta move, you're coming with me, right? And he said, oh yeah, sure, I'll definitely do that. But like, are you gonna do that? Like, is that even gonna happen?
Nice.
Right now, it really seems like he's just completely lying. Like, now that he's faced with the reality of having to move for this job, he suddenly is like, oh man, these restaurants suck and nothing happens there, which has only prompted his question about how much time he can spend away from you. And honestly, that is just so disappointing. The original poster went on to say that if he doesn't move, then she is definitely making sure she's not having kids with him. She's already accepted the job, so she doesn't really have much of a choice in that regard. And honestly, I completely agree with her. Having kids in an environment like this sounds like an absolute train wreck, and I seriously think that would just make things more complicated in this scenario. So hopefully this works out, and hopefully your husband is able to come to his senses and at least pretend like he wants to support you in some kind of way. Because right now he's being very Am I the jerk for telling my daughter that if she pays for her sister's college, then I will stop favoring her younger sister with my money? Here's what happened. Trying to be as clear as possible. My mother had a fund that was supposed to be for both of the grandchildren. She told me multiple times it was for both of the kids. She also informed the girls that they have money, but she unfortunately passed away unexpectedly. My oldest daughter was the only one on the fund, and it is legally hers. But here's the thing, she didn't share it with her sister, and she now has a huge head start in life with it. Due to this money, she has been able to go to college debt-free and is going to buy a house soon. My husband and I have been scrambling to give as much money as possible to our
gute
youngest
Fähigkeiten.
daughter.
Dankeschön.
She really did get screwed over. Even with all of our help, she still needs to take out student loans. My youngest daughter is working while in college.
Danke,
She
Game.
found a student job that gives free housing, but the issue is that she needs a car for it. So
Über
my
mir.
husband and I are going to
Ich muss
buy
nach
her a
oben.
car because turning down this job will result in a ton of extra debt for her.
Ich muss irgendwie nach oben. Aber nicht.
So honestly, I need to know, am I the jerk for the things that I said? What should I do? It sounds like your older daughter is money that's supposed Sure, the fund only mentioned the older daughter, but it was very obviously expressed verbally from the grandmother while she was still alive that that money was supposed to be for both girls. It was not supposed to just go to one of them. And that part in and of itself is honestly so disappointing. Like, your older daughter absolutely knows about this, I would imagine. And she knew that this money would go to her sister. And from the sounds of it, used. So to
Nice.
that end, I understand where the original poster's coming from, where they're like, wait a second, our other daughter is getting completely screwed out of money. So no, I don't think you're the jerk. I think she's being very selfish for not spending
ich geh nach oben.
money, even though she knew where this money was supposed to go. That's the only person that really was supposed to have it. But in this case, it really was supposed to be shared. So for her to run off and be like, oh man, I can't believe you're getting her a car, all the while she's got all this money to work with and has a giant head start in life, that is completely unfair. I don't blame you for where you're in the way to be. And I'm the jerk
Ja, sorry. Aber ich habe nur dich gefunden.
I'm from South Asia, and a few years ago, I moved to Australia for my master's degree. I completed it and started working a
Das ist jemand.
job ever meals and groceries on one day of the week. That way you can cook and eat them anytime during the week. Usually I get my box delivered to me anywhere between 3 to 6 in the morning, and I go and get it as soon as I can. This time, I got it around 8 o'clock, as there were some delays.
rumzugehen.
but didn't notice anything after that, since the receptionist was an acquaintance.
Oh, ich kenne mich mit dieser Map so gut wie gar nicht aus. Gibt's irgendwie einen Weg hoch? Du bist im Weg. Ich wollte dich eigentlich nicht. Passt schon. Huh? Nice. Action.
Social, so I wasn't going to say no, but I decided to ask just to clarify. I said to him, "Oh, do you want me to move my stuff for you to sit down?" This guy looks at me and says, "No, I mean, can I have both of these seats for me and my wife?" I looked at him and I said, "No, because I'm currently sitting here." He said to me, "Yes, but we want to sit here, so give me these seats." I looked at him and said, "I'm being funny, man, but I also want to sit here. That's the reason I sat here."
Finesse, wirklich. Vertraue niemals einen Killer mit blauen Augen. Niemals. Wenn die nämlich meiste Zeit mit den blauen Augen nämlich meist Zeit voll am Trollen sind.
Irresponsible I was. One of the other families called me to get my side of the story, so I sent them a picture of the deal that we agreed on. They said they knew I wouldn't do what I was being accused of. Then they started commenting on the post made by my neighbors. My parents also joined in on this, but I think everyone thought they were just protecting me. So now it's a big deal and everyone knows that they tried to change
Starten, let's go.
and some of the other babysitters or their parents are now saying they won't babysit for my neighbors anymore. Now, I feel bad about it because they paid a lot for my vacation. And if they had asked about it, I would have probably switched my excursion to the last day. Anyways, they are upset that I narked them out, which I didn't even do. They said that I could have talked to them if I had a problem, even though I'm not the one that made this public. So honestly, am I the jerk in this scenario? What should I do? It is so rich of them to be like, wow, if you had a problem, you should talk to me in private. Meanwhile, they post all this garbage online about you not doing your job. Like, seriously, what in the world is going on? They called you irresponsible and all this other stuff online, and then they get upset like, wow, you didn't have to make this public. It's like, what are you talking about? You tarnished my reputation. That is not okay, and you're not gonna get away with that. And here's the thing, they completely went back on your deal. I mean, thank goodness you had everything in writing to some degree. I'm assuming you had some kind of text message of some kind, or something to basically notate that yes, you had this agreement, and this is how it was specifically set up. So for them to turn their backs on you and start posting about you online while simultaneously being upset that their side of the story was completely wrong and they were actually just trying to screw you over, in my opinion, is completely hilarious. They literally want to be both victim and executioner in the same sentence. If they wanted to renegotiate the terms of your agreement, they should have brought you along and said, hey, we need to change just a few things. And then, just like any other reasonable person in the world, that's not that big of a deal. But instead, they're like, wow, on your day off, we went golfing and you messed things up for us. It's like, no, I didn't. You did it yourself. These parents are weird, and honestly, none of this is your fault. So truly, you are not the jerk, and I really think your neighbors got exactly what they deserved. Am I the jerk for lying to my family for 2 years by not revealing that me and my husband bought a house by the lake? Because right now, after they found out, they're calling us greedy and are demanding the address to that house, with my mom even asking for spare keys. And right about now, I'm seriously unsure of what to do. Here's what happened. A few years ago, my husband and I told our relatives that we wanted to buy a country house by the lake. In our country, almost everybody lives in apartments, so our families were
Ein
very
Verfolgerbild.
happy. My mother
Der
immediately
Bluttropfen,
decided
schnelleres
she was going to
Treten,
vegetable garden in the
ein
yard of this
Infopark
house.
und
And my
ein,
husband's
ja,
sister said that it would be a great place
weiteres
to take
Zuhauffähigkeit,
summer. My
glaube ich.
sister started fantasizing about family picnics, and my husband's brother jokingly said that this would be a good place to get drunk on the weekends. Well, when we heard all of this, we were both terrified. We did not want any of this in the slightest. We wanted to have a place where we could truly feel at home, a place where we could rest, and a place where we could arrange everything to our taste. We wanted a place where we could raise our future children, where we could
Amerikaner oder was?
quiet and not deal with family squabbles. In the end, we decided to tell them that the deal had fallen through and there would be no house. After all, it is none of their business. We were the only ones buying the house, and it has nothing to do with them. Plus, we just didn't even tell them anything. We only told the truth to our best friends.
geh rein. Lauf. Danke. Damit erspart ihr mir das Hochlaufen. Ich Spaß.
It seems like your extended family tries to claim anything anyone else gets in their life, and this is one of those situations where they're like, wait a second, what about me? But then I would want to ask back, yeah, exactly, what about you? You don't own this house, and there's a reason I didn't tell you about it. Because literally, this is the way you would act. And I don't know about the original poster, but I would not want family like this over all the time at a place that I would want to call home. So no, you are definitely not a jerk. Your extended family is incredibly selfish and very entitled. And I see not wanting to deal with them in the slightest. Would I be the jerk if I decided to break up with my boyfriend after he didn't do anything for my birthday or even Valentine's Day? Because right now, that's the reality I'm faced with. And at this point, seriously, here's what happened.
Na komm.
My boyfriend and I have
Geh
been
den
together
retten.
for nearly 4 years, and we've been living together for almost 3. It was fine until March of 2023, and that is where we kind of started struggling. Now, my birthday is a little more than a week before Valentine's Day.
Hä? Was?
So don't ever expect
Da komm ich hier nicht rein.
for Valentine's Day. However, This year, however, he didn't even bother booking the day off of work. I even reminded him before his job's booking deadline.
Wenn ihr keinen Bock habt, dann spielt das Spiel nicht. Aber blockiert nicht den Platz für andere Spieler, die spielen wollen.
Valentine's Day because he was kind of talking about it. Like he had something planned. I felt like it. For a whopping 10 minutes that day. He spent the morning out with his friends, and when I came home, he was asleep with a brand new PS5 downloading some games. He said that he was going to get groceries while out with his friends, but didn't get anything but the PS5. So he bought a gift for himself on Valentine's Day. Am I being too greedy by being upset?
Nein, tu das nicht. Tu das. multiple Fuck, ich muss dich fallen lassen. Ich will keinen Haken. Ich will keinen Haken.
And I'm honestly so sick of it. Yeah, that sounds really obnoxious. Like these people are
Ich will keinen Haken.
disruptive and they're grabbing you right when you literally have no time to do anything for them. Whether
Nein,
you're
ich lasse Jake am
or at
Boden.
least helping another
Passt schon.
customer or trying to get somebody's order, to have them come up and be like, hey, can you take our picture? Without any kind of acknowledgement that maybe you're a little too busy for that is incredibly rude. I think the way you handled that one guy though is absolutely brilliant. This guy didn't even ask you for a photo. He just handed you his phone and just expected you to look. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not a telepath. I can't read your thoughts because trust me, your thoughts are probably stupid. So it's really good for you for starting to say no to these people because honestly, I think it's time for you to put your foot down because these people are very disrespectful to your time. You really handled it on the clock. And in my opinion, you absolutely do not deserve to be treated like that in the slightest. Just ate half of it while in the store, claiming that he's hungry, and if we don't let them have a discounted price, then we are just monsters. I'd rather watch our son starve than eat some food. And I've honestly never been more blown away by somebody's entitlement in my life. Here's what happened. So and I thought I'd seen everything, but this past Saturday, I encountered an entitled mother that left me both frustrated and baffled. Here's what went down. The store waves off my collar. Oh, my little angel was just so famished. I had to make a start. Just wait what's left, darling. Now, at this point, I'm trying to keep my professional cool here. I say to her, I'm really sorry, but we need to charge for the hot food before it's consumed, since it's been partially eaten. She starts screaming at me. This is absolutely absurd. My baby is hungry, and you're telling me you'd rather have a child starve than break your silly store policy. What kind of monster are you? I suggest starting a call service reiterating the policy and suggesting that in the future she should consider paying. Well, the
Ace,
entire mother was not
Ace,
having
hello?
it. She said to us, "This is unbelievable. You are all completely unreasonable. I'm trying to take care of my child here, and you're all just being so heartless." Turning back to her son, she begins to say, "It's okay, baby. We won't come back here where the bad people don't let you eat when you're hungry." And with that, she leaves the table.
Wow, was für Fähigkeiten.
Even to the detriment of understanding and respecting simple rules and merchandise. Yeah, that entitled mother was clearly trying to get away with something. Like I've learned in customer service, the more angry and belligerent the customer is, the higher the chance they're trying to pull one over on you. And this entitled mom absolutely takes the cake. She clearly was trying to get a free meal for her kid, or at least get something discounted in the process. And it's like, come on, you definitely knew the policy. You're just trying to skate around the issue specifically. Because trust me, if you give her a break, she will be back with you. And again, honestly, with all things considered, I handled this situation really well because that entitled mother was being an absolute jerk. If you like Am I the Jerk, you're probably going to love Am I the Genius. Check it out, link down below in the description. Also, go
das
to
war's erstmal.
DeadbyDaylight.com/submit if you would like to submit your own
Danke fürs
stories
Zuschauen.
and entitle